Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I am Jordan. And, okay, so little bit of backstory here. So, we just came off the heels of the Akatoshin. This is episode 301, by the way. Ben Holladay, been getting a lot of rave reviews from people like ADHD Whiskey, Bourbon Junkies. I don't believe I've seen it on Whiskey Tribe. And then, tons of I don't even know all the other whiskey channels. I kind of bum through the other whiskey channels every now and again, but ADHD Whiskey and Bourbon Junkies and Whiskey Tribe are like the three channels that if I'm going to watch something, those are what I'm going to watch. But it's been getting good reviews, and the other reason why I watch those channels is because most often my palate and nose tends to line up with what they're saying. Not always, but often. So I trust their reviews, and I use their reviews to go out and try and find whiskeys that I think I'm gonna like. So I'm not wasting money. Trying to really narrow things down. I'm trying to stick to just my hit list, and not just grab random stuff off the shelf anymore as much. But I asked the liquor store here in town, the cheaper liquor store here in town, to order this for me. Feel kind of like a dick. Self confession here. Because I was down in Casper on my way back from elk hunting. I had an elk in the cooler. I was flying high, feeling pretty good about myself. They had this sitting out, and I paid $53.99 for this Ben Holladay. This is the Bottled and Bond 6-year. And I thought that was a reasonable price. Now, when I went to Rapid City at Mr. Liquor, they had two. Was it? Oh, wait. Was that where it was, or was it in Gillette? Now, because I had gotten this elk, we had to go buy another freezer, and I bought a freezer for like $200 cheaper in Gillette. So it was either in Gillette or it was over in Rapid City. I don't remember which, but they had two bottles. They were both bottled in bond. One was this whitish label. The other one had a darker, blacker label on there as well. I don't know what the difference was, other than there was a difference in price. And I want to say that this white label was the spendier one. They both said bottled in bond on it. So maybe this is 6-year and the other one's 4-year. I'm not sure. But I want to say the other one was like $45, something like that. And I want to say this bottle might have even been cheaper. And now I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty sure it was in Rapid City where I saw both of them. And I think this bottle might have even been cheaper there than what I paid. Now, I feel like a dick again because I asked the place here in town to order this specifically for me. And, oh, I got a sneeze coming. Oh, geez. And they tend to have really good prices on stuff. And so I'm kind of curious to see whether they ordered this or they ordered the other bottle, for starters, and what the price is that they got it on. And I might actually go today and go look for that a little bit later this evening and see if they've finally gotten it in. But they said it was going to take like 2 months to get it in because they hadn't been getting stuff in on the regular, due to their distributor kind of slowing down or whatever, something along those lines. Some issue with the distributor. So feel kind of bad having ordered it, but we'll see. We'll see what the end deal is. We'll also see if I like it. If I like it and they have it and it's only $40 or something crazy like that compared to what I paid, $53.99, then hey, maybe I'll buy another bottle. But here we go. Ben Holladay, 6 years old, bottled in bond, Missouri straight bourbon instead of Kentucky. Distillery site since 1856. Okay. I don't know a whole lot about this. So here we go. DSP MO-5. So this is from Rickhouse C, and it's a blend of. So that Rickhouse C has 7 floors on it, and The blend is 10% from floor number 4, 68% from floor number 3, and 22% from floor number 2, and 0% from floors 1, 5, 6, and 7. That's interesting. That's an interesting way to put that together. This is distilled in fall of 2016 and bottled March of 2023. So this is more than 6 years. This is 7 years old. But the youngest stuff in here is 6 years old. That is interesting. And it's a screw cap. Also interesting. Boy, the things you learn, the more you know. So there you go. Just opened it. This will be our first try. Let's see what we get out of this. Now that I am 6 minutes into this review. So yeah, Casper, Wyoming at the Liquor Shed. That's my go-to liquor store in Casper. They tend to have good prices on stuff. $53.99. Hard to beat, right? So for $53, a bottled in bond, since I can get quite a few bottled in bonds by E.H. Taylor. Old Forester, JTS Brown, Evan Williams. Boy, there's just a lot of bottled in bonds I can get for far less than $53, but I'm going to tell you, on the nose, it's not hurting my feelings right now. Very rich caramel, hints of oak in the background. Although I will say, it's a very bourbon nose, but it's not very fruity or florally. It's more that brown sugar, rich depth of caramel to it. A little bit of honey, oak. There's no nuttiness really or anything else going on in there. I do like it. I like it a lot. A little bit of oak char. I will say also, now I've had, let's see, I started this shoot when I did the New Riff single barrel. That was 113 plus proof. The Akatoshan was only 80 proof, and the Sagamore was 90 something proof. So this is 100 proof. I will say in the glass, the ethanol burns the nose a little bit more in the background. I mean, I really got my nose in here. Getting a little bit of like peanut dust, just a smidge. Not getting a lot of like marshmallow, graham cracker, none of that really coming out of this, but there's a graininess kind of starting to come out in there, but really heavy in that dark, rich brown sugar sweetness. So on the taste, very simple. I'm definitely going back on this one because kind of a simple, flat, forward taste with ethanol kind of lingering, kind of hitting you in the beginning. I want to say it almost drinks hotter than 100 proof. But it was kind of a little bit flat to start with in flavor, but then it picked up like this sweetness and an oakiness kind of not too long into it, but not that wasn't the initial flavor. The initial flavor was a nothing burger, and then it picked up an oakiness, sweetness, a caramel, brown sugary that kind of persisted through the mid palate. It had a pretty short flavor profile, especially for 7 years on some of these barrels, 6 years definitely. The oakiness in there is observable and not astringent. It's not very bitey and bitter. It's very much just oak, kind of like that. There's a dustiness on the back end. Going into the nose again, it almost has a malty characteristic to it, but still that sweetness. Yeah, man, it almost has like a Scotch maltiness in there, uh, with a brown sugar. A little bit of peanut dust that time, just a smidgen though. Like that one's pretty hard to tease out. And as I'm warming it in the glass, it's getting more and more candy, caramel, sweetness, brown sugar. Very nice. Go back on the taste here. Let's see what we get now. Okay, that time it was a lot more brown sugar forward. Kind of almost a creaminess and texture to start with, but then it dries out pretty quick. Slight bit of oaky astringency, bitiness in there in the middle. Um, but it's like a complement between the proof and the oak tannins that are playing. So it doesn't hit you as like this really bitter astringency. It's actually more of a pleasant oaky background that plays into a little bit of barrel char, um, and definitely a little bit lighter, sweeter on the finish. So here's what I'll say. It is a good whiskey. It is not a $53 whiskey. In the 40s, this plays very, very well. So if you can find it in the 40s, by all means, buy it. And that is coming from somebody who likes sweeter, less oaky whiskeys when it comes to bourbons. Just whiskey in general. I'm just not a big fan of the astringent barrel impact of like that tannin bitterness that you can get in there, especially with age. But having said all that, it's pretty well balanced when it comes to all those flavors. But the flavor profile is short. And again, I just opened this. That was just the neck pour, all that stuff. I'm betting this bottle's really going to open up in time, especially when it gets down to about here. I can see this going a lot more towards the flavor profile that I like, which is that sweeter bourbon flavor profile. I don't want a candy syrupy sweet, but just those sweeter notes tend to like in my bourbon more than those tannic bitter oakiness. And just letting this sit here, man, it has a great nose, and like I said, the flavor profile is not bad by any means. Um, I think it just needs to open up a little bit more. I really think that this bottle has a lot going on for it that will come out in time. Yeah, but you know what I don't get? I don't get the cherry or apple or any of the fruit flavors that you get with a bourbon. It's all sugary caramel, dark sweet notes with oakiness, but not very bitter. Do like it. There's a time and place for that whiskey for sure. Um, just don't know where it is off the top of my head. So hopefully that review helps you. $54. That's out there for right now. But we'll give this some time. I think that will prove out to be a good purchase in the future. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So I think I am going to stop. That is 4 videos for the day. So coming up in the future, we have this cheapo Windsor here that was given to my wife. So we will do a review of that. We have, now this one's been on my hit list, Jack Daniel's single barrel, but barrel proof. We'll see how that goes. This has gotten rave reviews from tons and tons of whiskey review people. I'm late to the game on this one. This is coming in at 132 proof. I tend, like, for me, Jack Daniels has that like banana Laffy Taffy like you wouldn't believe. So we'll see what this does. I'm curious. Legion, ADHD whiskey. He said this was his guilty pleasure. Matt did. So, you know what? I'm gonna go with him and see what this is all about. That one's coming up. I think he said he paid like $35 for it. I found it for more than that in $47.99. So, hopefully it's as good as he thought. And then again, everybody raves about Wilderness Trail, and the only Wilderness Trail I've had to date was the boy, is it Cast Strength? I think the rye that I have. Go ahead, check in the videos. It was probably no more than 30 videos ago. I think it was a Cast Strength rye, but I saw this bottled and bond sitting on the shelf there, so I picked up Wilderness Trail. The last one on my list was Rebel 100, right? Which should be pretty good. But this is a special limited edition Rebel Cast Strength single barrel. And I saw that and I was like, you know what? We're doing it. Because it's not bad whiskey. I think it's aged in let's see, distilled and aged in Kentucky. I was gonna say I thought this was MGP, but it's not. Lux Row is who's doing this one. Um, Bottled for Lux Row from Bardstown. Okay, so this is out of Bardstown. But cash strength. So I thought, let me look quick, see what the price is on this one. But I thought, you know what, we're definitely gonna do that. So Rebel, $55 for a single barrel cash strength. I thought, yes, we're gonna give that a go because I think Rebel makes some pretty good whiskey, or at least the Lux Row. When they pick it, they do a pretty good job. So we're definitely gonna get into those when we do the next shoot. So that's 4 more bourbons and then 1 Canadian for the next shoot that we do. So as always, thanks for watching. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of the Ben Holladay 6yr bottled and bond for in your area, what your experience is with it, any thoughts, comments you have. Share this video with anybody who you think might find it valuable or entertaining. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, good luck, and thanks if you're watching this on BitChute. I do greatly appreciate it. If you are watching it on YouTube, jump over to BitChute. Definitely a better experience over there as far as watching my content. And as always, thanks for watching, you guys. Have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you in the next video.